In hand.
I'm David Thomas. I'm the 12th president of Morehouse College, currently serving. This event is important for Morehouse College because it really represents our effort to increase alumni participation and engagement in all ways related to the work of the college. And it's been amazingly successful and inspiring. It also seems fitting that we're doing this here on Martha's Vineyard. I've been coming here for 29 years without missing a summer. And it's really a place that, in many ways, like Morehouse College, is a special environment where African Americans can come and feel fully connected to every aspect of what goes on here. In the same way, I think we provide a unique experience for African American men on Morehouse's campus, where it's a place where they feel connected to every aspect of what we do. And that's actually not an experience that African Americans have in many places in this country even today. So for us to be here and to be here as the Morehouse family is particularly special. And what I'm hoping that this event becomes is not just an annual affair, but a model for what Morehouse College alumni chapters do around the world. We have graduates from every state in the U.S. as well as from almost every country in Africa and the Caribbean. And so we're really hoping to mobilize our alumni to help us secure the future of the college.
I'm Wilton Devon Baker, class of '90, Morehouse College, banking and finance major. I'm currently the president of the Greater Boston Morehouse College Alumni Association, affectionately known as the GBMCAA. Professionally, I'm a realtor and real estate investor. I love dear old Morehouse. A real short story, my mother always wanted to have a son that went and graduated from Morehouse and be part of fraternity of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I feel my mother's dreams. She did so much for me and provided so many opportunities. She was the National Archivist for Jack and Jill of America and wrote the first history. So for me, traditions are big and important. Being a Morehouse man, all the traditions that surround that really strengthens me, girds me, and provides a strong foundation. And if you just think about all the men who graduate from Morehouse, you know, like the Martin Luther King Jr.'s, the Spike Lees, the Samuel Jacksons, the Jay Johnsons, you know, all of those guys are great men, and I stand on their shoulders. So for me, I'm here to help students become as great as those men, to mentor, provide scholarships. That's what we do. We give back. When I was at Morehouse, what they taught us was to give, to serve. If you're not serving, then you're not giving, and you're not living a full life. So basically, that's the long and short of it for me. As Wilton Devon Baker, I love Morehouse College, and this is what inspires me to be great or do well in every field of human endeavor.
My name is Stan Washington, and I am from Los Angeles, California. I'm class of 1985 from Morehouse College, and I'm also on the Board of Trustees. Being on the Board of Trustees at Morehouse has been an amazing opportunity for me, both in terms of being able to obviously give tremendously of my time and work for the college, but also getting the opportunity to meet all of these extraordinary young men, these scholars that we have that we're developing, through Morehouse. The House on the Vineyard event has been really special for me. Being from Los Angeles, we always feel like we've got great beaches, but coming out to the Vineyard really really has been this enlightening experience in terms of not just the community and the camaraderie and the opportunity to fellowship, but the island is so beautiful. I have to admit, I didn't realize how beautiful this island really was. So this is my fifth year on the island. I came out the year prior to the first House in the Vineyard, and the House in the Vineyard event has really been the trigger to kind of kicking in for our family to allow us to continue to come. It's an extraordinary event. The opportunity to really talk about the strengths of the college, directionally to have our chairman Willie Woods and our president Dr. Thomas speak directly to our alumni, to other individuals who support the college, has been tremendous. But most importantly, I think getting the message out about the college's need and the ability to fundraise and all the things that we need to do to continue to support our scholars and the institution has been the most important thing. My background is in technology and finance and marketing. I've been running a technology company that is global, and I think the experience that I had at Morehouse really prepared me to be in this type of position. The classes that we had, the involvement with the professors and the teachers, and most importantly, it's kind of like Morehouse is its own fraternity. The ability to go literally anywhere in the world and run into someone from Morehouse and have the ability to tap into them, their resources. And I've got to tell you, Morehouse men are always well resourced no matter where I go. Has been just an amazing gift for me, one that I have been happy to pass on to my friends and to my family. I'm committed. I married a Spelman woman, and our daughter went on to Spelman as well. So I have been just really blessed to be part of this Morehouse tradition, and I think this particular event has done a very effective job in bringing others to Morehouse who may not have also understood the deep legacy that we provide.
My name is Raymond Lambert. This is actually my first time on the Vineyard. I had never been here before, but I am so happy that I am here and I'm inspired. There are a lot of reasons for that. I'm always inspired to be around fellow Morehouse men. It reminds me of my responsibilities, not only to the university, but to society as a whole. And I'm always encouraged by their success and being competitive with each other. We always want to have great stories of what we're doing to change the world. I'm really inspired by this because I think it's going to set the stage for an even bigger future for this event, which is going to be a major contributor to Morehouse, not only in dollars, but in expertise and such. So I'm really happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to next year already.
I'm Charles Reynolds, class of '58, Morehouse College. One of the things that I have tried to strive for is to put Morehouse at the front of my life, because it has given me so much in order to accomplish the things that I've accomplished over the last 65 years. I'm a product of the schools of Albany, Georgia, also Morehouse College, Wayne State University, Detroit, Michigan. I've been coming to the Vineyard for the last 30 years, and I would say to each young person and to those persons that are here that this is the melting pot where you get the enthusiasm from other individuals. You're able to look at how you wish to mold yourself into leadership. You asked me also about this island, and this island for many years has produced some of the greatest leaders in America. It also brings together those leaders in a setting that is not one that you have to rush with, but that you can sit still able to think, still able to participate. And my goal is to help every young man that wishes to get that and understand the leadership that is needed to participate in this world in which we live. It's very, very necessary now. Probably it is the bedrock of what we need for the future.
My name is Marlon Cousin. I'm class of '87, Morehouse College. I am currently the president of the Morehouse College National Alumni Association, also part of the Board of Trustees for Morehouse College. And Morehouse College has been a phenomenal experience for all of us and all of our students. One of the things that's been most impressive to me, actually I worked in Boston, and actually Martha's Vineyard was always a part of my history. So I've been coming to the Vineyard for about 30 years now. And not only that, I worked at Martha's Vineyard. I was with Pepsi-Cola at the time. So I love this environment. I love the spirit. And again, the connection between Morehouse and the Vineyard goes way back to the 1800s, actually. So we're excited about being here. We're excited about having a presence and what we can do for our students.
Hello, I'm Dr. Monty Boyd Harris, Morehouse College class of 1988. And it's a joy to be here in the sunshine on the Vineyard. You know, one of the things when I think about Martha's Vineyard and think about Morehouse, both of the places are places for beauty and for renewal and for cultivating, spirit. So it's a joy to be here. Looking forward to coming back, and hopefully the Greater Boston, Morehouse College Alumni Association event will continue to grow and prosper.
So our Master of Ceremonies for today is Mr. Raymond Lambert. He is an entrepreneur, published author, and filmmaker, and the founder of All Jokes Aside Entertainment, which provided early opportunities and early paychecks to many of today's top comedians, including Oscar winners Jamie Foxx and Monique, Emmy Awards winners Steve Harvey, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, and the late Bernie Mac, to name a few. He has served as a consultant on comedy and talents at NBC, BET, Comedy Central, HBO Def Comedy Jam, and The Second City. Agape Publishing released his first book, All Jokes Aside. Stand-up comedy is a fun business, which chronicles his wild ride through the business world of stand-up comedy. A filmmaker, he recently won a Peabody Award for the documentary Maya Angelou and Still I Rise. And he is currently serving as a producer on Punch 9 for Harold Washington, a new documentary film about the life and times of the legendary politician. Before launching his entrepreneurial ventures, Raymond served as a senior level executive in sales, marketing, and business development at Stars Network, Bank of America, and the Coca-Cola Company. Raymond earned his BA in marketing from Morehouse College and his MBA from the University of Virginia. He is the father of 2 daughters, both CPS students, and now Raymond is based in Chicago. It is my pleasure to introduce you all to Mr. Raymond Lambert.
How's everybody doing? Great. Truly honored and happy to be here. This is my first time on the island, and I didn't know what to expect, but I got to tell you, spending time with the 1% is better than I thought. When I was driving up there, I thought I need to have a further talk with myself about my love-hate relationship with money. It's never too late to do a better job. So anyway, I'm enjoying myself. I'm really happy to be here. When Divine called me, I thought, man, it's a wonderful thing that he's trying to do and build on it. And I have a history of working with Greater Boston. I used to book the comedians and some of the entertainers for the Mobile Gala. I don't know if you guys remember that back in the day. Yeah. That was a really good thing. And I'm hopeful for him that this can inspire me similar to that, not even greater. So I think we're going to keep it sort of fast and loose, if I'm not mistaken. But welcome everybody. Special acknowledgments that I think Divine's going to give a little bit later. But I think we're going to get started by, we had a great breakfast yesterday, and I was motivated to get inspired. It was something that Northwestern Mutual guy said. He said, you know, your support for the university, your support for the college should be reflective of your love for the college. And I thought, I need to tell myself that more often so that it doesn't get lost and I miss the boat and I don't get more reflective. My giving is not reflective of my love, and I got to do a better job of that. So I was motivated yesterday. But I also was motivated because I really think we've got the president to take us there.
Yeah.
I was really inspired when he was selected. I was really inspired every time I've seen him speak. And yesterday was even more so, because I think his vision for the school is exactly what we need. So without further ado, I'd like to bring him up for a few remarks.
Thank you, Raymond. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
All right. It's a pleasure to be here. And Raymond, thank you for saying that you were inspired by my remarks yesterday, because I remember somebody told me to cut it short. So I'm glad at least somebody was listening. Great. And I want to be short today. First of all, I bring you greetings from the highest hill in Atlanta, the home of Morehouse College. I'll leave here Monday and land, and our new student orientation will be in full swing. We will have almost 700 new students entering the college and ready to start the journey as men of Morehouse to become Morehouse men, as the college has done for 150 years. And there are many things happening at the college, but I won't go into them here. We talked about some of them yesterday. Let me start by saying that it's a pleasure for both myself and the First Lady of Morehouse, Lewis, for a good for us to be here. This is actually our 29th summer being on the island of Martha's Vineyard. And it is very special to be here now with the Morehouse family. And I want to thank, in particular, Devon Baker and all of the leadership of the Greater Boston Morehouse Alumni Chapter. In so many ways, not just this event and this weekend, but in almost every way, the work that this chapter is doing, I think, is a model for what all chapters of Morehouse alums can do to support the college on many fronts. Most important, I want to congratulate our honorees, each of whom will be introduced in some detail later in today's program. These gentlemen represent the best of Morehouse men, the best of the values that Morehouse has stood on for 150 years, leadership and service. And importantly, today's legacy and event is recognizing individuals who have made an impact on one of the most important sectors of our economy that affects all of our lives, and that is the area of medical sciences and professions. And they represent that in almost every aspect of the work in that sector, from delivery of services to the creation of new models for delivery to policy. So I just want to give each of them from this podium my congratulations and say that when I think about what I'd like the world to see 30 years from now, long after my tenure has ended, I want to see us be able to have an event just like this, represented by young individuals who came to Morehouse College while I was the president, who are going to lead lives emblematic of the lives that you have led. And finally, I want to thank all of you for the support that you've given the college in the 19 months that Willette and I had the privilege to provide leadership there. It's really been just unbelievable outpouring of support. And any of you know anything about being in these kinds of positions, it's never just like this. There's always highs and lows, and the not-needed support has come from many other people in this room. And so I'm grateful for that. Let me also end by saying this is a really great event. Having it in this place, I think in some ways it's a mirrored reflection of Morehouse at its best. But I want us to make sure that we don't lose sight that the deeper purpose of this event is to continue to bring together the community that will support Morehouse College so that it lives another 150 years, the mission to deliver on the mission of Morehouse College. So with that, I'll end with unashamed appeal. You have on your tables text to give cards. You know, when Willie Woods and I had our early conversations, there was a theme that came up in many of our conversations, and it was this theme that we both believe that the world needs Morehouse. And when you asked us, why did you leave what you were doing or alter what you were doing to take these roles, for each of us it is, this is our statement that the world needs Morehouse. So I'd ask each of you to answer that question, and if the answer is yes, text you.
Okay, so I think we're going to bring up the man of the hour whose vision is brought us here today, and he's going to make an award presentation. Devon, oh, that nearest greens. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I lost my voice over the last couple of days, so I'm not able to talk too much, and I know some of my good friends who are here supporting are going to say thank you for that. First, I want to acknowledge the many different sponsors, people, corporate sponsors, community partners who have supported this event. First, I have to start off with TJX. They not only support us for this event, this time of year, but throughout the year. We're able to have our Young Men's Leadership Conference, which President Thomas was able to attend, and he addressed those 170 young men. I think he walked in the room like, whoa, we don't need any more Morehouse College right here. TJX, it started off with Jerome Smalls, our relationship with him during the Mobetta Gala in the 90s, and then continued with Roger Guzman. And now also we have in our presence one of the vice presidents of TJX. He's a real cool dude. You know, he graduated from Howard. In fact, yesterday he had this Howard hat on all. You know, we'll talk about that. The TJX is one of the largest, if not the largest, business in regards to retail globally. It's the parent company of TJ Maxx, Home Goods, HomeSense, and Marshalls. So it's incredible and almost, you know, at times moving to have a giant like that to partner with Morehouse. Not only do they partner with the GBMCAA, now they're working out with Morehouse, building that relationship so we can have a pipeline of great talent, our students. They want to employ. There's only a couple HBCUs that are targeting, and Morehouse is at the top of that list. And so I want to give a hand to TJX for doing that, for employing our young men. So without further ado, I would like to present the 2019 Lux Award to TJX, represented by Mr. Jonathan Savoy. Chairman Woods, will you come here and join me as we present this award? To the hat. This actually fits pretty much. You know, on behalf of Roger, Bev, Ed, Shield, and all of our associates at TJX, we're deeply honored and appreciative of the award that we're receiving today. You know, on a personal note, one of the reasons why I joined TJX 8 years ago was because of its support to HBCUs. It was important to me as I'm a Howard grad. I'm, one of the proud members of Howard University on the advisory board of the marketing department at Howard. So still very entrenched with the university. So wherever I wanted to go, it had to be that relationship. And TJX was all on board with that. But when I joined, I was in awe on the relationship we had already established with Morehouse. And it's gotten bigger since. And when you think about institutions like Howard and Morehouse, today is a representative of that. I mean, we're celebrating pioneers in medicine, but there's pioneers that are graduates in law, government, civil rights, business, entertainment, all aspects of American culture. And Howard, particularly Morehouse today, obviously is very well known and respected as one of the best institutions in these United States. So over the past 25 years, TJX has provided meaningful support for Morehouse because we're aligned to value, and Morehouse is providing a lot of value to its students and value to American culture, as I just mentioned. So not only are we supporting the Greater Boston Morehouse College Alumni Association, but we're supporting its mission, and that is to provide scholarships to undergrad and both graduate students, and we've done so for over 25 years. We were one of the first corporate sponsors for the Young Leadership Conference, here in Boston every year in March. And personally, on a personal note, my son Jackson has benefited. The last 3 years have gone, and today he aspires to be a man of Morehouse. Wow. Right over Howard, I'm not mad at you. Why is there such a bond between Morehouse and TJX? Obviously the value and the mission and what we've accomplished at Morehouse, but also TJX strives to have a workplace where our associates and customers are welcomed when they walk through our doors. Our associates, are they going to be welcomed and feel valued for their diverse backgrounds, contributions, experiences, and ways of thinking? This is what we strive for, and Morehouse is part of that mission. We're proud of our culture. We're staying true to that culture with over 4 decades of being committed to the core values of expanding our mission around the globe, creating value in our products, and creating value in everything we do. So today we wish Morehouse the very best in its future, and we look forward to 25 more years of continued support for the next generation of magnificent Morehouse men. Thank you very much.
So many young men that we gotta touch, educate, and create leadership who's gonna go into this world 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. You're gonna look back, there's gonna be some young brother leading a charge, and you're gonna find out that they came from Morehouse College. And that's what we are about. The board is very focused on supporting our president, very focused on the president's agenda around graduation rates improving, around the academic program getting better, around student success improving and being more student focused, around doubling the size of the endowment. And so we have a big agenda, an ambitious agenda by a lot of people's standards. But you gotta think big. And what Morehouse is doing is big. So we got to be thinking big about what we can do. So I once again want to thank all of you for coming. I want to thank my wife who's sitting here who allows me to do this. As you can imagine, it's taking up a lot of family time. And money, right, by the way. It takes a lot of money to do this job. I have to go with my wife with these requests. Why we write another sizable check for Morehouse and our name not on nothing. I want to make sure that I thank my wife for allowing me to be able to do that. So with that, let's keep the program moving, and we need money. If I can't be any clearer, what is going to fix our challenges at Morehouse? It's money. It's real simple, right? Get the academic program, we need money. To make student success be better, we need money. If the infrastructure is going to get better, and the customer service is going to get better, all the things we complain about, we need money, right? If we're going to get better at serving our alumni, communicating, databasing, facts, and telling the story, and marketing, that all takes money. So I encourage all of y'all to give to the college. I'm certainly the first one to step up and do that. So I believe in having people lead by example. So I'm always first one giving, because I know how bad the college gets your money. So I appreciate again for all of you coming, and I'll turn it back over to Greg. Okay, thank you.
Right now, we're going to have Matthew Fields is a Morehouse man. He is Vice President of HMH, unfortunately, he's unable to make it this afternoon. In his stead, we will have Curtis Valentine. Curtis, what year are you?
Millennium class, 2000.
2000. Now, there's an interesting program that was born out of the House of Vineyard called the Innovation for Equity Summit. And Curtis Valentine is going to give us some remarks and in regards to the Equity Summit.
Another round of applause for the brothers. Again, my name is Curtis Valentine from the Millennium class in 2000. I also welcome reference Hubert Hall, first floor. Thank you very much. One of the most illustrious men, we call him in Morehouse, but I graduated and raised, spent a great part of his life building Morehouse. The one thing he did when he stepped off of Morehouse's campus was do what? What did he do when he retired from Morehouse? Anyone know what he did?
Went to the superintendent of the schools.
He ran to become the president of the Board of Education in Atlanta. Because he knew the impact that K-12 education had on the growth and longevity of Morehouse College. And so Matthew Bugle Fields and HMH has a similar vision for Morehouse by improving K-12 education in the United States. Over the last day and a half, over 50 African Americans from the entire ecosystem of K-12 education, from investors to inventors, superintendents, researchers, policymakers, and funders, all together in this very room, trying to come up with a solution to inequities in education for African American students in America. And for the last day and a half, we were working together to really drive what that looks like. This is the second year for our Innovation for Equity Summit. The bond was a very big part and catalyst in bringing that together and making sure that the Morehouse on the Vineyard had a piece that touched on something even larger than this event. What is happening with Black and brown children in America? I believe really would you mention that today. The lifeblood of Morehouse College is going to be what happens in our K-12 education. I'm someone in Prince George's County, Maryland, where I sit on the Board of Education, work every day to ensure that every child in my system could potentially be a Morehouse man or a Spelman woman if he or she wanted to. And the direct reflection of that is the brother right here. Say that, Brandon, man. He's going to talk a little about this brother right here. Brandon Mann is a graduate of Wise High School in Prince George's County, Maryland. A part of a program called Minimum Mate. And just last May, graduated from Morehouse College, debt-free. I'm so glad you brought him here so we can see the physical representation of what we try to do here this last day and a half. He's an aspiring child psychologist. He's someone who's going to go out and change lives. But it all began in a public school system in Maryland. I'm so proud that he is here today and all the things that he is doing, because he's going to go out and also change lives. He's a Morehouse man because of the support of institutions like this. And so I thank you on behalf of Matthew Mueller Fields for the Innovation for Equity Summit founders like myself, and for everybody who supports Morehouse College. Thank you very much.
So we're going to get the award presentation part of the program started now. And presenting the first award for Mr. Monty, okay. So presenting the first award is going to be Jameson Floyd, class of 20. That's great.
Over the heads of our students, Morehouse holds a crown that challenges them to grow tall enough to wear. For most, these words sound poignant, stirring, inspirational. For others, these 20 words are the crux of a lifetime charge for how we live. Good afternoon. My name is Jameson Floyd. I'm a rising senior physics major, originally from Birmingham, Alabama, at Morehouse College. And it's my pleasure to introduce you. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Monty Harris this afternoon. Dr. Monty Harris was born and raised in Gary, Indiana, and it was here that the growing that Dr. Howard Washington Thurman referenced began. Fascinated by art and science, fueled with creativity, and encouraged by a yearning for excellence, Dr. Harris stood up for the crowd at an early age. As a young student succeeding in the classroom, he still wondered how he could fuse his passions together to create an impactful legacy. Dr. Harris earned a full scholarship from Morehouse College, where he would further develop into a man with a disciplined mind, a man that would lead a life of leadership and service. While at Morehouse, his journey for excellence evolved into a lifelong devotion to achieve in every field of human endeavor. He's a fall 1986 edition of Pi Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and a Manual Cum Laude graduate of Morehouse College, 1988. After Morehouse, Dr. Harris entered the Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, where he was inducted into the Alpha Omega Alpha Medical Honor Society, yet another achievement. He went on to complete his internship in general surgery and residency in otolaryngology fellowships at the Georgia Nasal and Sinus Institute and the University of Michigan, and endoscopic sinus surgery and facial plastic and reconstructive surgery, respectively. He has held professorships at the University of Michigan and currently holds appointments at both Georgetown and Howard University. Dr. Harris is the co-founder of Cultura, a groundbreaking cosmetic medical spa that is the first to integrate spa therapy, dermatology, and plastic surgery, all designed for people of color. He is the founder and CEO of the Center for Aesthetic Modernism, where he currently practices. This is only a short list of the impressive credentials, exemplary accomplishments, and immense respect that Dr. Harris has earned over the course of his life. In one of our first conversations, I asked Dr. Harris, what motivates you to keep going? He took this opportunity to educate me on how he makes his work into much more than just carrying out medical procedures. He told me that with many cosmetic surgeries, the surgeon will take parts from inside the body, like bone or cartilage, and he'll bring them to the surface, so that once the procedure is complete, the patient is transformed. In the same way, Dr. Harris's life work, and particularly his development of cosmetic treatments for hair loss amongst African American women, has developed in providing his patients with a spiritual transformation. Taking inventory of the good that is deep inside each and every one of us, and understanding that those things are beautiful and deserve to be brought to the surface, is what has motivated Dr. Harris to not only continue to be a leader in this field, but also to encourage those around him to look good, feel good, do good, and ultimately be good. I'm confident when I say that Dr. Monty Harris has grown to outstanding heights and has inspired countless others on their path to wearing the crown. He has grown not only as a surgeon, but as a father, a husband, and a brother. With that, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome Dr. Monty Harris.
Yeah, it's a pure joy being here. I just wanted to be able to say a couple words. I want a little thank you, a little praising, and a little bit of planning. So first of all, I want to thank Martin Jameson for such a warm introduction. I want to thank Greater Boston, alumni chapter of Morehouse College, and the audience for done something truly amazing. And created something that, as we all can see, is exquisitely beautiful. I want to thank my family. My sisters are here. I'm seeing right now. So I got her here. And then, and most of all, I want to thank my wife, Lisa. Primarily for being my muse, for loving me, and really for creating space, a real space for me to grow into being who I feel that I'm supposed to be. You know, the other day I was at a dinner with Dr. Thomas, and you know, something he said that truly struck me, and that we're all in a battle. A real battle and a fight to be who we're supposed to be, right? And the beauty of Morehouse is truly that it has created a place and a nurturing community, as Dr. Thomas says, for us just to be. And you know, we cannot take that for granted. The other thing is that's aligned with the Vineyard, and we've been coming here for about 16 years too, and to know that there's this synergy between Morehouse and the Vineyard, in the sense that the Vineyard is also just a place of beauty, a place of renewal, for us all to be who we're supposed to be, you know, at our highest self. So, you know, I'm going to end with a little claim, and part of the claim is recognizing that it truly is a challenge for us to be who we're supposed to be. And I want to challenge all of you, both individually and collectively, to be bold, right? To be courageous and step up into really being who we're supposed to be. And I think that, for me, as a plastic surgeon, quote unquote, I never wore that title well. I always call myself a little bit more a beauty doctor. and primarily because that title of plastic surgeon consistently put me in a place where I felt I was behind enemy lines, right? That I was doing work in some situation that was, aiding the enemy. And so, my journey has been one to continue to grow, continue to evolve my practice. I no longer do Botox injections. I no longer hurts. I no longer do rhinoplasty. Vineyard has been recognized for people coming to me for rhinoplasty surgery. And part of that motivation was being from Gary, and I thought that Black folks didn't need to be disfigured by cosmetic surgery so that we could get better. Yeah. I did do it, right? Now we're doing it better. We still got to recognize it don't really make sense. Right? And so my practice has evolved to doing what I call now, like James, a little bit of spiritoplasty, right? That we can harvest things from the inner, use that inner to reshape our perspective, and with that outer perspective, really work to uplift the whole. So, in conclusion, for any of you all that truly know me, I'm an architect at heart. And always wanted to be a designer. I appreciate functional creativity. So I'm really excited about creating new space and new places to be an assistance for folks who are really trying to come in that higher understanding of loving themselves, loving others, and ultimately loving God. So, thanks.
I don't know how anybody can not be inspired. Brother Harris, and also the other people that I've been able to meet the last couple of days here, it reminded me of my purpose. Leave here so ready to, go out and change the world like you're supposed to. But anyway, we'll keep this going, and presenting the next award is going to be Brandon Manor. The gentleman that I've met the last couple of days that very impressed with, and look forward to
it. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brandon Manor. I'm a Prince William County, Maryland native and a 2019 graduate of Moss College. Currently what I'm doing right now is I work for Frontier Foundation. I'm located in Washington, D.C. and I've been in the midst of I did acknowledge the woman who runs the organization, the executive director, Ms. Wendy Wilson. And starting in September, thanks to Dr. Louis Sullivan, I'll be starting my 2-year stint at the National Institutes of Health. I'll be doing research before I go to medical school as a spine psychiatrist. But maybe in about 20 years or so, things will come full circle and I'll be on this stage again. But right now, this moment, it's solely about So, Dr. Ross was one of the youngest of 18 siblings in Waynesboro, Georgia, while being raised on a farm where he developed a profound love and passion for Earth's nature. This sparked a fire within Dr. Ross, enticing him to find answers to how things function. His God-given curiosity and intellect coupled with unwavering support from his mother, Ms. Zellie Lee Jones Ross Utley, Dr. Ross was destined for success. Dr. Ross began high school at the age of 13, and since then has had a great opportunity to continue his life with the women of his dreams. He went on to attend Morehouse College, where he earned his degree in biology with a chemistry minor. While also being an undergrad at Morehouse, he had the distinct honor of being inducted as a member to the Chi chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to him. During his tenure at Morehouse, I always wondered if he knew that he would be a trailblazer for young black men and women who are aspiring to be physicians. He graduated from the Cook College of Medicine at East Tennessee State University and completed his residency at Greenville Hospital in Greenville, South Carolina. After residency, he went on to complete a cardiology fellowship at the University of Tennessee, Memphis. Dr. Rouse began his career as a board-certified cardiologist in Carrollton, Georgia, where he eventually became the chief and chair of the cardiology division of Tanner Medical Center. Although this was amazing, Dr. Rouse knew he could always grow and expand. Dr. Rouse created the West Georgia Cardiology Associates, which he gladly serves the West Georgia community in many ways. And that looks like health services, community engagement, events, community luncheons, and more as he aspires to get his patients to an optimal level of health. Additionally, he's the founder and president of CDR Research Incorporated, an organization that focuses on novel interventions, founder and president of the Rouse Foundation, a nonprofit that performs medical missions in countries across the world such as Honduras and Zambia, and founder and president of Gyre CDR, a real estate holding company. Dr. Rouse is also known for being an active leader in a plethora of organizations. In his free time, just like when he was young, he loves spending time with the outdoors and with his wife and kids. Dr. Rouse has been very much a trendsetter in all aspects and a great change agent in our communities. And I'm glad to have the honor to introduce him. Please assist me in welcoming Dr. Charlie C. Rouse to the platform.
Here you go. Really? Whatever.
So some years ago, I was sitting in the northern portion of Mexico in a place affectionately known as a dump. It's 4 miles high, 4 miles long, and 4 stories high. It's where the northern portion of Mexico dump their trash. It's actually a living community filled with human excrements, animal excrements, no running water, no electricity, and horse-drawn carriages. We had just put an IV in a young lady who was dehydrated, who had not eaten for 2 days, but couldn't get any food. And her husband comes by with this stack of bagels in his hand that he had picked out of the trash that I was alluding to earlier. Picked it up, brushed it off, and then handed her food to eat from there. And I was sitting there at the end of the day, sort of wrestling with myself, trying to figure out my purpose in life and where I was and why I was and how I was and who I am. And I came to the conclusion, the revelation or epiphany, if you will, that my life is all about service. It's about service to mankind. It's important for me to thank this organization for this award, because you're thanking me for something that I love to do, something that I was born to do, and something that I deem to be my ministry, and I really appreciate that opportunity. But if I'm going to be lifted up in any way, if I mean seen or given accolades for anything that I've done, it's because I stand on the shoulders of such giants that they make me look tall. God being the foundation of that. there's some human and earthly foundations that have helped me throughout my life, that have made me taller, that have made me feel like I'm better than I am. First, my mom, who was a great philosopher. She had a 5th grade education, but just had so much that she instilled in me that I can't tell you how much that has done to me in my life. I lost her this past August at the ripe old age of 97. But an incredible spirit that I carry with me everywhere I go. Secondly, is Mother Morehouse. And I can't tell you what Morehouse means to me, what Morehouse has meant to me, and why I give 5 cents out of 10 cents to Morehouse. I love the institution. It gave me a sense of the Greek word called paideia, paideia. It's education beyond the traditional sense. When I left Morehouse, and this is the honest to God truth, I didn't think I was Jesus Christ, but I thought I could walk on the water. And finally, like the brother before me, I met my wife September 5th, 1978. At 8 o'clock at night. Blues 2 was on at the time. We were high school, we were our high school sweethearts. But when I tell you, she lifts me up and makes me feel better than I actually am. That's the honest to God truth. I accept this award only because of giants like her and other people that have been important in my life. And thank you guys for having me here. This has been an experience for me. And brothers that I've never met, never known before. There's just such a kinship of Morehouse men. It's just unbelievable. And I'm proud to be a Morehouse man.
Okay, so we're going to have some remarks from National President, Morehouse College Alumni Association, class of 1987, Mary Cousins. So, I just used the word by folk. So, this is a true story. So I can see 2020 up close, but so because of that, I can't see all, you know what I mean? So I can do like this all the time.
I've been called worse. Good afternoon, I'll be very brief. I'm greetings on behalf of about 16,000 plus alumni across the world. I say thank you, welcome, welcome, welcome. We can't do this without you. I want to recognize, we talk about Devon and that Boston team. Actually, they were our chapter of the year last year because of the work they did. I want the team to say, but I want you to see them because, stand up please, let them see. I want them to, because I think sometimes we can make the difference. Volunteer work. Again, this is volunteer work, so they do this out of labor of love for this college and what we do. And here's the one thing I want to leave you with, very briefly, as far as alumni. We talk about what Morehouse has meant to us in our lives. And let me just send you a message, because I truly believe that the alumni plays an integral role in the success of our college, our students. And let me tell you, Morehouse is still creating magic in 2019. All the magic that we talk about that impacted our lives, they're still doing that work. Now, I'm telling you, I'll be honest with you, I talk about this a lot. I can't figure it out. I know we got challenges. I can't figure it out. We still producing magic. We have about 30 or 40 student volunteers who work in the National Alumni Office. So I'm a true testament. I work around branding these kids every day, these students every day. Let me tell you, they are magic. They're doing some wonderful, wonderful things. And our younger alums, let me tell you, I go across this country and I meet them every day. And let me tell you, we're doing some phenomenal things from coast to coast. Neuroscience, and biology, business. We're doing some phenomenal things. So alumni, I would ask us to step up because the college needs us more now than ever. Morehouse is needed more now than ever. And I think it begins with us. So we got to look at ourselves and say, what can I give? What can I produce? I'm big on presence too. So your presence here today means a lot to us. It means a lot to me. Because that means you could be a lot of places, but you choose to be here with us because you believe in Morehouse College. So I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, and please don't forget, it begins with the alumni who started today. Get involved in your local chapter, come back to campus and mentor these young scholars. Believe me, they're screaming for your attention, they're screaming for your leadership. It's our responsibility to provide that. So thank you from our 16,000. Take care.
Back up here. As I mentioned, I currently intern at Fund 2 Foundation, and I mentioned our executive director, Mrs. Linda Wilson's here, and I just want to say thank you first and foremost for the opportunity, the lifelong lessons, just the real world application of everything I learned to the office and being able to implement it here and moving forward. I'm just wholeheartedly grateful for it, but I'd like to invite her to say a few words that she actually wrote.
You know, I must love this man here. To come here, we have been in hiding since that Morehouse time. I want you to know I have a stack this high of what we call ass. and as much as we want to do, we are not an ATM machine. But we're very, very proud. Robert F. Smith did give me a message to tell you all, and actually it kind of fits with what all of you all have been saying already, but just listen to this. He is looking forward to the Morehouse alumni rededicating themselves to increasing the opportunities for the Morehouse class of 2020.
Yeah.
All right. So what I really want to say is how much Brandon has done to us at Fund 2 Foundation. And I need to say this because we had a restoration retreat a couple of weeks ago where we brought 60 kids who had been recently affected by violence in the community. And I can tell you the way they came in was not how they left. They had yoga, they had all kinds of activities. I hope, please look it up, it will blow your mind. But I really want you all to know you've been talking about Morehouse leadership. But Brandon was such a model for those youngins. His joy, he smiled the whole time. And he was so grateful they all got Yeezys, which if you know what that is, Kanye West sent them Yeezys, right? So they were happy for that, but I actually used him as, if you have the joy of this Morehouse man, leadership is inevitable. He definitely showed the beauty and just wonder and appreciation and happiness that we really want these kids to embrace. And they left out of there acting like Brandon. So that's all I really want to say.
Yeah, I'm smiling still. But I would like to invite Mr. Donald Bookman up to the stage, who is a current junior at Morehouse College, kinesiology major from the greater Boston area. And so what we'll be doing right now is, I'll let him introduce himself to you all first.
Hello everybody, good afternoon. My name is Donald Bookman. I'm currently a junior, rising junior, kinesiology major at Morehouse College. I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, specifically in Massachusetts, but I was born in
And I'll be asking him a couple of questions and response from there. So, what value did your family put on education for you while growing up?
Education was one of the forefronts before God. After God was education. My grandparents, well, my grandmother, who is now 102, used to take me and my sister every summer and teach us English, math, reading, writing, you name it. If my friend said, "What did you do this summer?" "Oh, I went to the arcade, I did this and that." I was hooked on phonics. So until I was in third grade, I still went down there. So both my parents were college graduates, graduated from Xavier University. My sister just got into Xavier. She's currently moving in right now as we speak. So that's a good thing as well. But going to HBCU and such as Morehouse was kind of the only thing I kind of wanted to do. And my parents, they supported that wholeheartedly.
And I think that leads us to the next question of what inspired you to choose Morehouse College?
Well, growing up, I was just surrounded by Morehousemen. Mr. Baker, he was my Sunday school teacher, yes. That gives you kind of an idea of how on top of that, the Greater Boston Morehouse College Alumni Association also hosts the Alumni Leadership Conference, and I've been going to those since my 8th grade year. My dad would even tell me, "You take your friends with you, I'll let you guys go out to eat, make a night of it, and in the morning go have some fun." And I enjoyed it every year. I used to, towards my sophomore year, I would actually tell me that, "Hey, it's coming up, like, let's get ready for this, get my friends ready on board." So, yeah, Morehouse. Like I said, we're just trying to Morehouse, man.
And I think that leads us to the burning question of the hour. Even though we know everyone should be donating, but can you let us know why should our money be donated to the college from you as a student on campus?
From a student perspective, I am a 3.8 student athlete, and I currently have no scholarship. And there are plenty of students that are just like me, 3.8 scholars, 4.0 scholars, 3.5 scholars, etc. student athletes that want to be at Morehouse, love Morehouse for what it is and what it's worth. And I'm going to tell you right now, the leadership is real. When I first got to Morehouse, I was a mess. High school, barely graduated 3.0. And this is honest. And when I got to Morehouse the summer, 3 days after graduation, that summer, I went to the PCP program. So that right there tells you how my parents felt about education. So while taking summer classes, I was able to establish myself and revamp myself in a way that I want to. I knew I could be that Morehouse man, that top scholar that has that leadership qualities. And I was able to do that through Morehouse. So as President Thomas said, Morehouse is needed more than ever. But what Morehouse needs is your funding, because without that, we don't have books, we don't have the necessary materials, we don't have the things we need to get things done. And even though we don't have everything we want, we're still able to do the things that other people outside looking in go, "Wow, that's Morehouse." That's why we need that fundraising.
Thank you, guys.
I'm really surprised that I was a Sunday school teacher. I love God is good. But right now, if you intend or you like to give to Morehouse, you have that opportunity. If you like to give $50 or pledge that right now, you have that opportunity. If you like to pledge, give $100, you have that opportunity. If you like to pledge or give $500, you have that opportunity. If you like to give or pledge $1,000, you have that opportunity. If you want to pledge $40 million, you have that opportunity. So thank you so much for coming, and we're going to keep this program going. And again, go text and give, and make sure you put in a dollar amount and then donate. All right, thank you.
So presenting our next award is Sam Abrams from the class of 2020.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Sam Abrams, a senior economics major, mathematics minor, coming from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today I have the distinct pleasure and honor of introducing Dr. Ernest Page II. Born in Orlando, Florida, to Ernest Page, class of '64, and the late Jacqueline T. Page. Ernest graduated from Morehouse College in 1992 with an honors degree in biology. He is a member of Morehouse College, a member of the Pi chapter, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, no tomatoes, and a life member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. He is a proud outstanding member of the Morehouse College National Alumni Association. After graduating Morehouse College with his bachelor's degree, he went on to attend Vineyard Medical College, where he was inducted with the Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society and graduated in 1996. Upon leaving Vineyard, he went on to do his residency in emergency medicine at Emory University School of Medicine. During his residency program, he was chosen as the first resident of the year and as chief resident. He was the first African American to be chosen for this role. He completed his residency in 1999. After completing his residency, Ernest went back to his hometown of Orlando, Florida, to practice with the independent group of Florida emergency physicians. This group staffs the emergency department of large 11 hospitals, healthcare system in Central Florida, with a medical staff of roughly 2,500 physicians. After 2 years of his practice, he was selected as a partner and was the youngest partner ever to be selected at the practice and the first African American to be chosen as well. He continued this theme throughout his career of being both the youngest and the first African American in almost everything that he would do. Next, again, he was the youngest to do this in his role and did that for 4 years. In this role, he was chosen for the President's Award, which is a top award given to medical staff members who display excellence in the delivery of medical to patients within the hospital system, as well as the Teamwork Value Award from his colleagues for his ability to get teams across multiple disciplines to work together to deliver high quality, efficient, and safe medical care in the hospital system. He later became the executive vice president of his medical group and was responsible for the group's finances, operations, human resources, and negotiating third-party insurance contracts, among many other notable responsibilities. He was instrumental in growing the group to become one of the largest privately owned emergency medical groups in the country, having roughly 300 physicians and 800,000 patients annually. In 2016, he helped negotiate the acquisition of this group by a large publicly owned emergency medicine group and currently serves as the director of administrative services in the new entity. Having many of the same responsibilities while still delivering client care, patient care. For many years, he served on the board of directors for Florida College of Emergency Physicians, which is a professional organization that represents emergency physicians in the state of Florida and is one of the largest state chapters. He served as secretary and treasurer, then vice president, and then president. And if you had to guess already, was the youngest and first African American to do this. In this role, he did extensive lobbying, advocating for numerous medical issues in the state and federal level, which resulted in getting multiple bills passed and many regulations put in place to help physicians deliver better care to the patients of Florida. Today, he is still active in his efforts and makes key legislative contacts for state and federal officials. Continuing his service today in his specialty, he currently serves as the first African American president of Florida Emergency Medicine Foundation, Emergency Medicine Learning and Resource Center. The organization serves as the leading provider of education around the state of Florida to emergency physicians, medical residents, and first responders such as paramedics, firemen, and EMTs. He is also very active in the American College of Emergency Physicians, which is a national professional association for emergency positions. He currently serves as a counselor in the organization and helps set policy, along with helping set the national agenda for the organization. Outside of medicine, Ernest is involved in numerous business ventures. He's the owner of Nate Investments, a commercial real estate holdings company. He's the managing director and owner of KLBB LLC, and owns and operates preschool academies that offer proprietary STEM-based curriculums to their students. He has an ownership stake in Sauder Technologies out of New York. Sauder Technologies is a patented baby detection system that helps school systems and other companies detect baby in areas where it's prohibited. In his personal life, Ernest is married to April Page, where they have 4 children: Mia, Ernest III, goes by Trey, Aiden, and Ava. Overall, if we look at the mission statement of Morehouse College, it's develop men with disciplined minds who will lead lives of leadership and service, and reflecting on all of Dr. Page's continued accomplishments is a true epitomization of what it means to be a man, a Morehouse man. With that, I have the great honor and privilege of bringing him to the stage for this award.
I just been reminded that I have 2 minutes. One thing I've learned in shoes is brevity. After you learned last night, right? So I'll try to be brief. So can I get 2 minutes and 15 seconds? That's what you put an extra out, right? So anyway, so this is truly an honor for me. You know, to the president, to chairman of the board, and all of the distinguished alumni that are here. And I think that what the Greater Boston chapter is doing is huge. You know, Devon and I talk all the time, and I think that this has the potential to really, really get big and to really, really impact a lot of young black men. As is. This is only the 3rd year, but I told Devon that I can see 10 years from now, or about a year 10, raising $1 million, $2 million, $3 million to impact the lives of black men. And just a little history between me and Devon, and I'm still trying to figure this out. So Devon and I go way back. Devon's from Orlando, but he's not from Boston. He's from Orlando. And so he told me that we met when I was in the 1st grade. Right? And then it became kindergarten. And then just 2 days ago, I heard I was in diapers. So I'm running, but we go back a long time, probably 40 plus years. But as I think about when I went to Morehouse, and I went to Morehouse, and Devon's got a lot of accolades, but Devon was one of the people that welcomed me into Morehouse. He was there before I was. And he showed me the way, right? He was my mentor, although he was just a couple years old. I think just a couple years old. I'm 5 or 10 years old. It took about 10 years to get out of school. But anyway, so Devon was a mentor to me when I came to Morehouse. And I came in as a kind of a unfinished product, rough around the edges, from Richmond Heights in Orlando, Florida. And so I came in as a man of the house, right? And I think about the quote, from Howard Thurman in 1923, graduated from Orlando, as he says, Morehouse raises the crown above your head and challenges you to grow tall enough to wear it. Well, that is actually one of my favorite quotes, and it's not just about academics, it's about spirituality. You know, it's about social courage, right? It's about a lot of things, and it's not just about academics. And as the years have gone by, I kind of thought about that, right? And as I've gone through my career, the thing that Morehouse taught me was never allow yourself to be put in a box. You know, if I think about, I do as much now in the business world as I do in medicine, you know, and as a person that I'm going to mention right now knows, you know, my beautiful wife, one of the hardest things to do is to be married to a Morehouse man. That has to be the hardest job in the world, right? Because we never sit still. We're always striving. We're always trying to make a difference. It's all about service, and we're always trying to serve. So my beautiful wife here, April, who's here, who I met, and I have a date too, March 17, 1991. And one of my good fraternity brothers introduced us 29 years ago. We've been married, it'll be 24 years come December. And she's a joy of my life, and we have 4 kids together. And so, from a Morehouse standpoint, Morehouse molded me, all right, smoothed my edges, right, to where when I graduated, I became a Morehouse man, right. And to be a Morehouse man, there's a huge responsibility that comes with that, right. We can all say we're Morehouse men, right, but there's a thing called service, right. We come out and we know we have to serve, right. And we have to be examples to other black men. And as Dr. Rao said, when you come out, you think you can walk on water. I'm not sure what it is, but after those 4 years, 5 years, or in Devon's case, 6 years. You do come out and you can walk on water. And if you look at some of the things I've done, you know, we have preschool, we have a STEM-based curriculum. So we're trying to get to them when they're 2 and 3 and 4 years old. You know, we're not waiting until they're in high school. We're not waiting until they're in middle school, right? We're trying to make a difference from a young age, you know, in kids. And so, you know, I've dedicated myself to service. You know, I've dedicated myself to giving. And after the chairman's breakfast, I feel like I'm going to give some more. It makes me give. You know, I don't really have a choice. But anyway, I just want to say that, you know, I really, really appreciate this award. It means a lot to me. And it's coming from a Morehouse man, distinguished Morehouse man. So I appreciate it. I thank you all. I think I'm going to turn it over to you.
Class of 58, who had the pleasure to be yesterday.
Cleanest man on earth.
Always has been.
Well, class of 90, really was class of 85, Thomas, President of Morehouse College, honorees, ladies and gentlemen.
Can't hear you.
Let's get loud, put it up closer.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Dr. Sullivan is my friend. I'm honored to be able to share a few words about him today. Dr. Sullivan could have been a Clark alumnus, but being the strong-willed man that he is, we have the privilege of honoring him as a Morehouse alumnus instead. His mother and father were devoted Methodists. They wanted him to attend Clark College. But Lou wanted to attend Morehouse College, which was
started by Baptists. His father relinquished and allowed him to attend Morehouse, the college of his choice. Dr. Sullivan is a man of strong convictions and is like a pit bull on issues that he believes in and that are important to him and the black community. But his approach is like a lamb. People may mistake this initially as a weakness, but they soon find out what a true fighter he really is, and the strength that he possesses. He approaches issues with tenacity, great intellect to accomplish the task. The strong influence of his father contributes to him being the man that we see today. His father was a strong black man and did not allow Southern whites to run over him. An incident occurred when Lou was only 9 years old. The sheriff of Berkeley, Georgia, shot Lou's dog, Spot. The sheriff had a bad habit of shooting at dogs owned by blacks with BB guns. However, that day he shot the wrong dog. Lou was hurt and angry that he went into the house to retrieve his father's gun. But before he could do anything, his mother was able to restrain him. When his father arrived home and was told what had happened, he proceeded to get his gun and took Lou with him as he proceeded to the sheriff's office. He arrived, put the gun to the sheriff's head, and told him if he ever shot Lou's dog again, he would kill him. The sheriff allowed him to leave because sometimes when blacks rose up against them, they would just say that they were crazy. Let them go. Dr. Sullivan came to Morehouse College and was exposed to great men such as Dr. Benjamin Mays, Dean Brazil, Dr. Martin Luther King Sr., Dr. William Holmes Borders, and many others. His experiences with these giants of Morehouse helped to shape the man that is to receive the Legacy Award today. He is a man with great integrity, complete honesty, total loyalty to the cause and to whatever he believes in. He has everlasting tenacity to get the job done. Dr. Sullivan is a team player, and when a job is complete, he gives credit to the entire team. He solicits and includes the input of their ideas and information which can make for a better outcome. There were 5 of us working unselfishly over a 4-year period, trying to ensure that Morehouse College would continue to serve young black men for another 150 years and more. This is when I gained an even greater respect for Dr. Sullivan's leadership and ability. These 5 persons kept pressure on the board to make sure that change happened. Luke demonstrated through his leadership that he had the character and ability to effect the change that he had utilized over his period of life and his career. We worked together tirelessly to make sure that the change that was needed eventually occurred. I could talk about this strong, powerful man for hours, but I was only given 3 minutes to do it. And I know I'm taking that time already, and I need to finish. So with that being said, I recommend that each of you purchase his book entitled The Breaking Ground, where he talks about what all young black men and each black college president should know. He has a roadmap of how he was successful and outlines what it takes to achieve that success. As I close, I would like to use my company's motto that we've had for over 23 years, and that's RICE. Aura is for respect, self-respect, and respect for your fellow human being. I is for integrity, which is doing the right thing when no one is watching you. C is for competency, always being prepared and striving to do your best. E is for excellence, striving to perform at the level where no one can question your ability and always getting 120% plus of your efforts. Lou, I am proud to have had the opportunity to know you and share being a part of your life and your work, and spending time with you and your beautiful wife, Ginger. When we played together as young boys, neither of us would have known what God had in store for us. You from Blakely, and me from Albany, Georgia. Congratulations, and keep on striving for your life's goals. I am honored to present this Lifetime Achievement Award to you today.
First of all, Charles, thank you very much for that very generous introduction. I'm very pleased that Ginger's here because she believed every word you spoke. Indeed, I've been fortunate throughout my life. I had great parents living in Georgia, rural Georgia, back in the 30s and 40s. You know, no picnic. You've heard of one of the exploits of my father. He did a number of things. I won't take the time to go through all of them. But he formed the NYCP, sued the county system in southwest Georgia, systems that were separate but not equal. He brought suit against the white primary. He started the annual Emancipation Day celebration January 1st of every year. Barbecues, speakers, Circuit Marshal, John Wesley Dobbs, and others come to this small town in southwest Georgia. My mother was a school teacher, but because of my father's activism, the 20 years they lived there from 1937 to 1957, my mother never got a job in Early County. This was the white community's retribution. She had to drive 14 to 41 miles to places around there in other families. But they were dedicated to send my brother and me first to Savannah when I was in 5th grade, and then back to Atlanta in 6th grade, was to attend schools there because they were better. They were that committed to an education. I had other role models along the way. One black physician in southwest Georgia, Dr. Joseph Griffin in Bainbridge. He was successful, he and my father were friends. At age 5, I wanted to be like Dr. Griffin. He knew science, he was highly respected in the community, and he was a leader. As you've heard, I came to Morehouse because of its reputation for training doctors, and also because of its president, Benjamin Bates. All of us who came to Morehouse during May's years were indeed very lucky. He said many things to all of us, and I'm sure you've heard a number of them. But one of the things he said that I remember is this: every one of you was born to do a certain special thing in your life. And if you do not do it, it will not be done. Your contribution is to find out what that special something is, and then do it so well that no man living, no man dead, or no man yet to be could do it better. He said, if you commit yourself to that level of excellence, when they're looking for someone in your field, they will have to consider you. Now, you may not get the job because of segregation or discrimination, but if you have the opportunity, you should not miss it because you're not prepared. Well, many of us during those student years thought this was the Kool-Aid. But I can tell you, the Kool-Aid is real. I have really been guided by those principles. Everything that I've tried to do in my life has had a purpose. I wanted to be a doctor. I was going to go back to Southwest Georgia. Along the way, I became interested in research. Ended up on the faculty at Boston University and realized in 1974 when Hugh Gloucester, the first Morehouse alumnus to be president of the college, decided Morehouse should start a medical school. As I thought about that, I realized this for me was a second chance. I hadn't gotten back to Georgia. I was doing research in Boston on the movement of vitamin B12 across cell membranes and other research. But this was an opportunity to really, through this institution, the medical school, to do what I had gone to medical school for. So our graduates from Morehouse School of Medicine are carrying out that mission that I had in my mind when I entered Morehouse College in 1950. The college has done great things for so many of us, and we're all very grateful for that. But can you think of the fact of any other college that started a medical school? Colleges don't do that. Universities do that. And many universities that have rich endowments have decided they don't want to have anything to do with the difficulties of running a medical school. Princeton, MIT, other institutions. But Morehouse College, under Hugh Gloucester's leadership, decided that this was needed. Among our alumni, we have producer Surgeon General, president of the Downstate Medical Center, a South African graduate who went back to South Africa and started a national blood banking system that protected South Africans from the scourge of HIV by making the blood supply safe. So Morehouse College, for me, has been very important. Like all of you, I love the college. I benefited from it. I want to do everything I can to pass it on, because this institution has made such a difference in our lives personally, but also in the life of this nation. As has been said before, we need this institution more than ever, because we have indeed exhibited the need in the broader national community for the kind of leaders that Morehouse College produces. So let me close by saying, Devon Baker and the Morehouse chapter in Boston, I think, have done an outstanding job. I'm particularly pleased because in 1972, along with other alumni, Flash Davis and others, we started this chapter. We brought the Glee Club to Boston. They were a hit, and I think they still come every year. But what this chapter is doing is a model for Morehouse alumni chapters around the country. We as alumni are the first givers to the institution, because if we don't give, who should? So I sincerely salute Devon, the other members of the Boston chapter, Marlon Cousins, and our new president, and Henry Goodgate, to say, what I want to do is see replication of the Boston chapter around the country. In Chicago, in Los Angeles, in St. Louis, in Miami, etc. Because if we have chapters around the country like the Boston chapters, indeed, our future as alumni of this institution will be secure, and the future of the college will indeed be guaranteed. Thanks very much for this recognition.
So we're, first thing I want to do right now is take a moment of silence to remember Willie Flash Davis, former chair of the Board of Trustees for Morehouse College. We just take a moment of silence. He passed away approximately a month ago, and we had his memorial service in Boston. Just take a moment of silence. Amen. Amen. So right now I'm extremely touched. The first house of review we had, it was hosted by that great man. Now a couple times, you didn't mention once that you're a great alpha.
Well,
right. And he told me I could hang out with a little bit even else. The cleanest man in the world, Mr. Reynolds. Yes, sir. Thank you. Another great outfit. He actually beauty in Morehouse College. There's just so much flavor. Whether it be all the different affinity groups, fraternities, what have you, all of that is just so sweet at Morehouse College. At this time, we're already over time, and I can go on and on, but I definitely have to thank our corporate sponsors and some other people. But before I do that, I have to thank my beautiful and lovely wife. Again, we have to recognize TJ without their support, this wouldn't be possible. The whole this and the whole court. Matthew is a great guy. Always he pushes me a lot. He's a great guy, and I really want to thank Holiness and the court. And also Northwestern Mutual for their diligence in pushing me as well, and to inspire the Chairman's Breakfast. And then also finally our liquor sponsor, Uncle Nearest. Both of y'all say for all that. Then I also want to thank our leadership team. Winston Rod, will you stand up, please? Last year this time when we did the House of the Vineyard, we brought in Angie Stone and Grammy Award winner PJ Morgan, who's also a Morehouse man. We had an after party at the Island House. We only charged like $5 for that. And but we were late getting there, and Winston said, "Hey, I'll go cover the door because we had to go. We were going to make money off this thing." He took the money, they brought the money back to me, and we counted it good. Next thing we know, it was time for elections and all that. And I was like, we were endorsing him, and he got the vote to be vice president. So I think at some point, GBNCA is going to be in great hands. We'll just obey that. The secretary, he's from he just came in to Boston less than a year ago and signed up to be secretary. He's also a fraternity brother, got off the side. I thank you for what you do, Taylor. Thank you so much. And And thank you to all of you. Thank you, Mr. President, for having our back, making sure things work out for the GBCA. Thank you. Doc, this is the Chairman Woods. You are great. So there's the first checks that were written for people who said they can write checks that support the House of the Vineyard. Chairman Woods. We talked, I think we talked maybe it was like December of 2016. And he's like, hey, I got you. Don't worry about it. And ever since then, he supported. And then last year we had lunch at the Lookout during Labor Day weekend. He said, Devon, this is why I want to see more students. Okay. I'm like, well, how are we going to pay for students? I didn't say that to him. And then he said, you know, we need to have a prospective family program. I'm like, okay, how do we make that happen? But being a good Capricorn I am, it worked. And it happened beautifully. So thank you. And then thank you to all of you. Thank you to all my fraternity brothers. You know, there's a connection between Dr. Sullivan and I. Dr. Sullivan sang in the Morehouse College Glee Club, so did I. Dr. Sullivan sang under Dr. Wade, so did I. And so we had that connection. BK, thank you for your connection and community and hooking me up with the Blocker Society, Health Professional Society. Marlon, thank you for working in that as well and making sure that we're connected with Northwestern Mutual and all the work you do. Michael Bryant, who's the biggest supporter of the GBMCA, don't support New York more, but he's always on the side of the GBMCA. He's like, hey, listen, Ron, this is what you need to do. All right, cool. Well, this is what you need to do. I'm like, man, you know, working with y'all Morehouse brothers. Good job. Mr. Parr, he last year told me how to run a successful fundraising event. I listened. Look where we are. What did I miss? Winston, just say it out loud. Thomas? Dr. Thomas? President Thomas? I talked about him first. I mentioned him first. You know, I got to put the big dog on that. But again, thank you. I think without further ado, it's time for us to wrap this up, and it's also time to conclude. If I missed anything, anyone let me know. But it's time for us to sing Dear Old Morehouse.
Dear old Morehouse, dear old Morehouse, we have pledged our lives to thee, and will ever, yea forever, give ourselves in loyalty, true forever, to old Morehouse may we be, so to bind each son the other into ties more brotherly. Holy Spirit,